Hello there and welcome back to another reaction video, this time on new Project L information from League of Legends, also known as 2XKO, which is an interesting name. So if you don't know what Project L is, it is a new fighting game that's coming out from the makers of League of Legends. And I've been quite interested in this because I've been somewhat interested in the past couple years on getting into a fighting game, but I always felt like they're a bit too technical for me, and I'm kind of hoping that since they said that Project L, or 2XKO, will be a lot more accessible to casual players, maybe it's finally gonna be time to get into a fighting game. But yeah, we now have Project L is now 2XKO video and the 2024 year in review or something like that, so most likely he's talking about what's coming up. But I haven't watched any of those two, but let's see where this is going. We're starting off in Ionia on most likely what's going to be one of the battle stages. Let's take a look.
Don't look away. Are we hurting each other for sport?
Face the wind! Stand with me. We call the weak. Starting now. What?
Replay! Time to throw down. About time.
Oh, I was kind of hoping we would see some new characters, but most likely they're keeping the rest of the roster secret until more gameplay reveal. Nothing about a date, which makes total sense. I think only now we're getting into the part of the project where we're getting just generally more info, but nothing fully concrete. But man, it looks so good. Like, oh, hello. Like, the stylistic choices for this game and then the art style that they chose to go for looks so good. It's sort of like a more cartoony Arcane look. Like it's kind of like Arcane, which looks beautiful as well, but it lies more into its cartoony / cell shaded art style. I think also in the Ruined King game, it was also in a similar art style. But man, this looks really good. So we have a Bilgewater stage. This is most likely going to be another stage in Ionia. We have... That's it for stages. But yeah, we're shown pretty much the characters that we already knew. We have... something else. Yeah, let's put it lower while we're just looking around. So we have Ahri with her magic and stuff. A bunch of combos. You have a Wind Wall. Wait, so since Yasuo has a Wind Wall, that means that projectile abilities are a lot more... Like, there are a lot more projectile abilities, right? Well, Echo has his Q, I believe. Ahri does have projectiles. Illaoi, if they go with Illaoi's gameplay, as in you can pull the soul out of enemies like in League, that could also be counted as a projectile to be blocked by the Wind Wall. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting game in general, I feel, because it's a 2v2 focused game with swapping. You can literally see here where you have I think it was Yasuo swapping in for Echo. Right? Yeah, you have Ahri and Echo fighting, and then after this little presentation for Ahri, you have Yasuo coming in and swapping Echo. So yeah, and from what I can recall, they've said that it's going to be both 2-player versus 2-player, so you can fight in teams of 2, or if you really don't have someone to play with, or maybe don't want to play with randoms on the internet, you can also just take control of both characters and just play as both, which is awesome to give the choice, rather than trying to make the game specifically in a 2v2 format. I feel like Multiversus, I'm not too sure, I haven't really played Multiversus, but from what I can recall, it was also a team battler. rather than it being, you know, a player v player with an option of having 2v2s. I believe, if I recall correctly, it was always a 2v2, which is the thing that kind of like threw me off when it came to Multiversus, especially since it was a Smash Bros-like game, which interests me to this day. But yeah, and since in here you have the ability to just go in yourself as both characters, that's perfect. Now, there's also the other video that's also shown here at the end. Year in preview, right, that makes more sense. So I'll see you there in just a tiny bit. Okay, so here we have Year in Preview 2024 2XKO Project L. Let's see what they have to tell us about it.
Hey all, Tom here, executive producer of Riot's upcoming 2v2 tag fighter 2XKO. We've got a few things to catch you up on.
Oh, don't you? Yeah, pretty much. A whole well, of course, Project L has always been the stand-in name. We never had a proper name, but I wonder why 2XKO?
No order!
Oh, there's the Ionia stage. And Piltover.
First, we finally have a name. Project L is now 2XKO. Here's why we're making the switch. This year, we're entering a new phase of development.
Okay, and here is the UI. Again, it's pretty simple. So you have both. Oh yeah, here you have it. So you have player 1 and player 3, which are 2 players on a single team, and here you have player 2 and player 2. So this is most likely someone who plays on their own, while these are 2 people playing at the same time on the same team, which is awesome. And yeah, I have the tag system. I'm not sure, on the bottom might be like special, but there's also this green bar here. But then again, there could be also specials and ultimates. I don't know. As I've said, I'm not too big of a... Okay, I can't say I'm not big of a fan. I'm not that into fighting games to the point where I know these things. I'm very sorry about that.
Our dev team has grown significantly since we last talked, and things are really ramping up. We still have a lot of game left to build, but we're far enough along that it's time to start sharing more with you over the coming year. Overall, we're building an always evolving fighting game for the FGC.
Yeah, so right now they're pretty much in the spot where they can finally share proper information. As in, you could say that what we've gotten right before in this video together are technically the first reveal of the game. Pretty much how you have the, you know, pretty much how we've had Ender Magnolia yesterday and the DLC for Elden Ring, or how we had the Silksong reveal back in 2019, which unfortunately was early, but that was because of a different reason. Anyway.
And there's so much to be excited for. There's also a lot we still have to figure out, and so that's where we're going to need your help.
Wait, need our help? Ooh, oh, I would love if we would get like a public beta for this. Oh, and as you can see, again, player 1, player 2, player 3 above here, and player 4. So this is a full-blown 2v2 match.
Last fall, we brought the game to EVO to get your feedback, and we're...
Which is awesome, but I personally can't go to EVO. So I would love if there would be like a public beta that's available to people on the internet as well, and not just in a convention. But let's let the guy talk.
Extremely grateful for all the time and support you gave us there. Since then, we've continued talking directly with the fighting game community all over the world, and we're learning a ton through direct feedback online.
Which is something that I really love about the way they're developing the game, because the fighting game community is very adamant about the general way that gameplay works, right? Like, Street Fighter fans are huge Street Fighter fans, Tekken fans are huge Tekken fans, and so on and so forth. And having a game that could break into the big fandom of fighting games and be able to stand its ground would be awesome. And the only way to do this is to talk with the fighting game community and to take most of the feedback that they give, of course, as long as it's not just like, make Yasuo uber strong because he looks cool. right? Kind of love the defensive mechanics. They seem to avoid matches running on corner pressure. Something like that. That's cool. Game looks amazing. I just hope they make the grabs have more impact. Man, I know it's been discussed with that, but I just like the motions. They feel good doing. They send the good chemicals to my brain. Indeed, the game just looks beautiful.
Hands-on playtest, and going to events like EVO. In 2024, we want to take that community focus to the next level and give you all more opportunities to play the game and give us feedback. So here's what we're doing next.
Okay.
You're gonna see us pop up with a playable demo in a bunch of places across the world. As a reminder, we'll be at EVO Japan in April. If you're attending, come check it out and tell us what you think. And we won't just be looking at major events, so keep an eye out for more announcements soon. For those of you that can't make it in person, the team will be sharing some of our development plans online to get your perspective. We won't be ready to announce everything, but we want to talk with you directly. So follow the
Okay, so it's cool, I guess. It's unfortunate, but then again, it's understandable. Maybe in 2025 we'll get some proper hands-on demo for the online medium. It totally makes sense that they want to go for the events, like in-person events, because those would be the most important for the future of the game, especially when it comes to creating stuff like tournaments and an esports scene for the game. You mainly want to take info and feedback from people who generally play mostly these games or want to have a focus on playing these games in a more competitive aspect. So again, it makes total sense, and having more development stuff like this, like how they made this background, for example, that's also amazing, because how you go from concept art to full-blown 3D render. These guys look awesome
online to get your perspective.
And the little animation is really cool. Anyway, we were at 158.
Do 2xKO channels and keep in touch. You're going to see a lot more of us this year. And we think that this community-first approach is the most effective way to make 2xKO the best game it can be at launch and beyond. 2023 was us in Project L heads down mode with a really valuable check-in at EVO. 2024 will be about getting you more involved with events, updates, and yes, maybe even some at-home playtesting later this year. And in 2025, we're aiming to fully launch on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S and X, and PC. What you can do right now.
Okay, so we might actually be getting some proper demo at home, as he said. Hopefully that's what that means. And launching next year, well, actually it does make sense, because the game has been in development most likely. So we first found out about Project L during the anniversary 4 years ago, right? 4 years ago, because this year is the 15th anniversary. So almost 5 years ago. It makes total sense that next year it would launch. So, because it's been in development since before that point. Like, they had a slice. I actually don't remember how it's called. It's something slice, like, right? A slice of the game that they could show us, a tiny bit of gameplay, stuff like that. Even back then, when we first saw Project L. So it does make sense that in 2025 it launched. That's awesome. I'm surprised, though, that they're not hitting Gen 4. PS4 and Xbox One. The game doesn't, again, I'm not too sure like what the engine they use is and how they optimize the game, but it's kind of surprising to see a 2D fighter, and especially one that's done, well, actually, it's still done in it's still a 3D thing. It's not like a 2D. It's not like everything is 2D. Yeah, no, the characters are indeed 3D. It's just that, you know, the look feels very 2D because of the way the characters are done and everything, but the environment, you can see from the environment and the characters present in the background that it is indeed a 3D game. So yeah, no, it does make a bit more sense. Because I was thinking, a 2D cel-shaded game doesn't make much sense to be absent from the previous generation, but I guess it also depends on where, in what engine is done and how they optimize it and everything. I don't remember where I was at.
With events, updates, and yes, maybe even some at-home playtesting later this year. And in 2025, we're aiming to fully launch on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S and X, and PC. What you can do right now is head over to play2xko.com to register for testing.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that just like after I post this video, 100%.
Sign up is specifically for upcoming playtests, so you'll need to sign up again, even if you've registered your email before.
Understandable.
We've come a long way since first announcing this game, but we're so excited for this next chapter. Thanks for watching, and talk to you soon.
Okay, I am really excited about this. The game looks good. It does seem to feel good. And from what I can recall, people who already played it said that it's really good, even back during the Evo stuff. So I'm honestly really excited for this. It's amazing that we've gotten news, and it's so funny how there's so many news this week. Like, again, the Elden Ring DLC was yesterday, the Nintendo Partner Program was yesterday, today we got the 2XKO name reveal and info. It's launching next year, and in like a couple of days I think there's also a Pokemon Direct or something like that, where we might get, I don't know, just spitballing here, either remake news or next to gen news. Anyway, that's besides the point. 2XKO looks awesome and I cannot wait to try it out. So, that brings us to the end of the video, where I want to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.